There are no absolute values. Useful information is accepted, the useless is discarded, adapted to the observer's reality, and knowledge behind the functioning of the whole is expanded. Each individual's life situation is the result of their adaptation of habits, beliefs, and their general way of being. This is obvious on superficial levels, but it also applies when one attracts those things and situations they dislike the most. Prosperity, in the same way, is something that is attracted or repelled depending on each person's mentality and level of consciousness. And while it may be an ambiguous topic, there is a certain notion of its relationship with economic abundance, but true prosperity refers to progressive improvement in various areas of any human being's life. These include emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, relational, and financial prosperity. By accepting and welcoming the spirit of prosperity, everything one has will improve in its own faculties. The universe is willing to give everything to those who can vibrate and resonate with the frequency that arises from balance in each of these areas. To accept the flow and blessings of the spirit of prosperity in life, certain behaviors and mentalities that block or facilitate its presence must be analyzed. For practical purposes, in this chapter, we will talk about 9 laws that must be adopted and adapted to attract prosperity in life using information from habits, methods, and knowledge from texts of Kabbalah, formation laws, Advaita Vedanta, non-duality, the Kyero worldview, and some Christic principles. Each of these laws is a pillar for the establishment of the integration of the consciousness of prosperity. Each individual's personal power is constantly expanding or contracting, with either of these being the result of each person's life patterns. People can manifest their will through their personal power. It is the most authentic force energy attached to each human being. Remember that each person is the forger of their own path, capable of creating it in their own likeness. The correct practice of the other laws expands the personal power of each person, while improper use contracts it. Personal power is a fundamental basis of the 9 laws, because by complying with the other laws, it increases and becomes more capable of creating situations or realities that were previously believed to be difficult or even impossible to achieve. Economics, management of states of consciousness. The law of economics refers to the proper management of our inner value and energy. Here, the management of states of consciousness applies, as well as the flexibility to handle different personal states. How and towards what things will I distribute my attention? It has been mentioned several times in this channel that a person's attention is the most powerful force in their arsenal, because through it, people are able to carry out their will. Taking this into account, what patterns or systems have been created that direct attention from the transcendent to the trivial or banal? It is as simple to analyze as to realize external situations that enable the change from light energy states like joy to denser energy states like anger. The spirit of prosperity seeks to dwell in emotionally unchangeable people whose level or state of consciousness does not change easily. The key here is to reflect on which state of consciousness will lead to harmonious expansion. Honor, integrity of our word. A person's worth can be measured by their ability to keep their word. Being honorable exponentially increases the resonance with which the cosmos aligns and synchronizes a person's desires. Honor implies fulfilling promises or agreements with others and with the universe, even when the situation is not always in one's favor. Through the fulfillment of one's word, each individual resonates more and more with the word of truth. By failing to keep our word, we become sporadic individuals with volatile wills, unworthy of relating to prosperity. On the other hand, an individual of integrity in their actions gains the favor of prosperity because they adhere to certainty, audacity, courage to take risks. Prosperity is like water, it must flow. People have the ability to be channels for the river that allows water to continue flowing. But if they try to cut or block the channels for selfish purposes, the water stops flowing, stagnates, and becomes stagnant. The spirit of prosperity dwells in those who are willing to take risks. Nothing should be taken for granted. Certain situations may exist one moment and cease to exist in the next. But making decisions out of fear of losing something arises from an intention linked to scarcity, which is the opposite of prosperity. Education, ability to transform knowledge into wisdom. While they are similar, knowledge is recognizing the existence of something, while wisdom involves understanding the how and why of a certain event, as well as its place and purpose within the universe. At higher levels, this wisdom entails understanding our role within the mechanism of the vastness of the cosmos. Wisdom in a human being helps them understand when to intervene in situations and when to let them be. It encompasses understanding the totality of one's being, and thus doing and saying the right thing at the right time, as closely aligned as possible with the course or trajectory of the universe. Reciprocity, the balance of maintaining a harmonious relationship with the tangible and intangible. This law assumes that both the organic and inorganic have a degree of consciousness, and that everything exists for a reason. It encourages the recognition of the existence of everything that surrounds us and promotes a proactive relationship with it. The universe and its laws operate cyclically, so every action warrants an equivalent response. If someone does good with a positive intention, something positive will be received and vice versa. It is important to emphasize that the true nature of reciprocity consists of giving for the sake of giving, without the need to expect something in return. That is the intention that should be had when acting. Without reciprocity, we fall into the consciousness of parasitism, only receiving and even demanding better tangible and intangible things without giving our own brightness or value. Peace, satisfaction, a sense of fulfillment. One must adapt to different situations and feel at peace with the results. Becoming emotionally or idealistically attached to a scenario or result tends to cloud judgment and lead to missing out on opportunities that may arise. To achieve staying present with a degree of appreciation for what exists, one must accept that nearly all of what happens is beyond our direct control, and living with expectations of specific results will naturally result in a life of disappointment. Stoicism describes this well and invites us to be present in every moment, feeling satisfaction toward things as they are because all things and events are perfect in the grand mechanism of the universe. Purpose, our why and for what. This law implies recognizing the true reason for our existence. If a grain of sand has a reason to exist, so does a human being. Each individual carries within themselves a part of divine consciousness. Each human life is a perspective of the universe experiencing and accumulating information about the workings of different times, situations, and realities. Each of these perspectives has its own reason for being. The concept of free will granted to humanity allows each person to find the reason that gives meaning to their life. The life philosophy that a person chooses will govern their life. When someone creates and adheres with irrefutable conviction to their purpose, at that moment, they have the ability to subject their reality to their will. Gratitude, acceptance of the situation, and gratitude to oneself and the universe. Appreciation. At this point, one accepts all the blessings of the universe and oneself. It works on negative ideas or thoughts created by comparing individuals and victimizing oneself. It goes beyond simply accepting the situation. It is about feeling grateful because life and its events are something that should be appreciated for them to continue flowing. Developing a genuine feeling of gratitude attracts abundance in life. Just as the universe organizes things based on the similarity of frequencies, it also brings together grateful individuals with the grace and blessings of the universe. It is important to practice sincere gratitude as a daily habit. To do this, focus on the positive. Recognize what you have. Express gratitude. Take action. Although it may seem that each of these laws is unique in nature, when consciously put into practice, one realizes that they are not very different from each other. Prosperity is a multifaceted concept that encompasses emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, relational, and financial aspects of our lives. To live in prosperity, We must maintain balance and harmony in all these areas, recognizing that the universe is willing to provide us with abundance as long as we are aligned with the frequency of balance. Remember that prosperity is not simply accumulating material wealth, but finding richness in balance and satisfaction in all areas of our lives. By applying these laws of prosperity, we become architects of our destiny, capable of building a meaningful and fulfilling life, in which each of us can thrive on our own path.